So in order to grow your woodworking business, you've got to buy things, right? You got to buy tools, you got to buy equipment, you got to buy software, you got to buy things. But how do you know the difference between buying an asset and making an investment that's really going to change your business versus just a purchase that you probably could have been wiser on when you made that purchase? Well, in today's video, I want to dive into what are assets and investments worth making inside of your woodworking business. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for my audience. You guys that watch each one of these videos, you watch them faithfully and consistently, and I just hope that you know, even if we've never talked, even if you've never left a comment, even if we've never connected, that I'm super appreciative of you. And so I hope this content is helpful and encouraging and helps you think about your business differently. If you don't know me, my name is Zach Vaught, and from 2017 to 2024, I started a woodworking business in my garage, learned business principles along the way, and ultimately built a $75,000 per month custom furniture business and sold that profitably in 2024. And since 2022, I've been helping other people do the exact same thing and been focusing my time on this podcast, on this YouTube channel, developing your business acumen as a custom furniture maker or a woodworker. And so in this video in particular, I want to talk about something that's a little bit controversial, it's something that most people don't think about. And so I think this is going to be actually a really helpful video for you. And I want to talk about the difference between investing in your business and just making purchases for your business. And so I want to start by saying I visit with woodworkers on the phone almost on a daily basis. Guys that are interested in checking out the program, learning how they can grow their woodworking business through the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, which is the program that I run. And I talk to these guys, and I can't tell you how many guys I've talked to that we get to the point where we start talking about the financial investment of the program. And they say, well, man, to be honest with you, I spent 30 grand on my tools and I have no money to invest in this program. Or I spent 20 grand on my tools and I'm completely broke. First of all, this breaks my heart because nobody was there to help them understand that it doesn't do you any good to have a shop full of $20,000 or $30,000 worth of tools if you don't have business. And what so many people do, and what I've made this mistake too when I first started out, because you don't know what you don't know, is that there are things that you buy that don't massively improve the functionality of your business, and there are things that you invest in that completely change the landscape of your business. Okay, so I want to talk about those purchasing decisions in this video today and how you can make wiser decisions when it comes to what you spend your money on, because money is a scarce resource, right? It's hard to get money. Every time that we get money, we should make the most of it, right? When we're spending money on things, when we're buying things. And so I want to talk about kind of my definition of an asset inside of your business, okay? So we buy and we spend money or purchase things that might incrementally improve our business, but assets or investments dramatically improve our business, right? They completely change the landscape and the structure of how we do things. And so let me give you some examples of situations where as a business owner, you're buying investments versus just making purchases. So follow me here for just a second, okay? And I know that I'm probably gonna get a little bit of backlash on this, but I wanna explain why I feel the way that I do. If you are starting a woodworking business and you don't have a drill and you buy a drill, that was an investment. Why? Because the situations that require a drill, you didn't have any way to handle that situation. Now you have filled that gap and you have a way to solve that problem. Now, let's say you have a DeWalt drill that you've had for 4 or 5 years. There's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but you go get a Festool drill or you go get a Milwaukee drill, which I'm a DeWalt guy, so no hate on DeWalt. You go spend the ridiculous amount of money that you got to spend in order to get one of those types of products. Well, you had a drill that was functional, it didn't die, and you bought a nicer drill. That was a purchase. That was not an investment, because we didn't dramatically change the effectiveness or the efficiency of that process, right? We might have incrementally made an improvement, like a 10% improvement from, if the DeWalt drill takes 10 seconds to drill this screw, but the Milwaukee takes 9 seconds, well, I made a 10% improvement. That's an example of an investment versus a purchase. If you don't have a table saw and you buy a table saw, that's an investment. If you don't have a joiner and you buy a joiner, that's an investment. However, I know what you're already thinking. Well, Zach, if they didn't have any tools and they needed to buy tools, was that not an investment? Well, here's the difference between a wise investment and a purchase. By making this purchase, am I solving the biggest problem that my business currently faces? That's what you need to think about. So for most people that are starting a woodworking business, Tools are not the number one thing that you got to figure out first. You need customers. Before you need tools, you need customers. Well, how am I going to get customers if I don't build anything? I got to have all these tools so that I can build stuff so that I can get customers. Well, here's the problem. I have this conversation again with people every single day. I've literally had probably 1,500 phone calls with woodworkers over the last 3 or 4 years. What happens is that you buy all these tools and you build something. And also, this is everybody's experience. This is also my experience. You build something, you post on Facebook Marketplace, you post on your personal Facebook page, you post it on Facebook groups, you start running ads for it or whatever in hopes to sell it, and nobody buys it. It's not the color they wanted. It's not the length they wanted. It's not the wood they wanted. Oh, honey, if it had just been 8 foot instead of 7 foot, I would have bought it. Oh, if it had just been light brown instead of dark brown, I would have bought it. It's not custom, therefore people aren't willing to pay for it. The best business model that I have found is to take orders and always build it specific to what the customer's asking for. We run into problems when we start making assumptions that we know what the market wants, but that's also, by the way, how all of us start, okay? But what the big bottleneck, the big problem that every business needs to solve in the beginning is they have to figure out how to get clients, get customers, make money. Tools only make you money if you have orders to run through that process that the tools are a part of. If you have a $30,000 shop full of incredible tools and no customers, that was a poor spend of money. It was not an investment. It was actually, those were purchases. And so what I want to do in this video is I want to challenge your belief system a little bit around you having to have this perfect shop in order to be successful. That is not true. In fact, you need to get customers, you need to get deposits, you need to buy materials and invest in tools along the way as you go and build a business. Successful woodworking businesses are not successful because they just have a bunch of incredible tools. They're successful because they have a total holistic view of what it takes to run a successful business. They need good marketing. They need good branding. They need a good sales process. They need a good fulfillment process. That's where the tools come in. They need good customer service. And so if you're lacking on the front end side of things, you can't even get to the point where you get to use the back end side of things. All right, woodworkers, I've got a challenge for you. It's called the 5K in 30-Day Challenge. Join the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, follow exactly what we teach you to do, implement the systems, the processes, the sales scripts, and if you close $5,000 in new custom furniture sales in your first 30 days, we're gonna give you your program fee back. That's right. You will have literally built a business growth system for free. So why would I do this? Well, because I would rather actually put my money where my mouth is and win only if you win than just asking you that you should just simply trust me. So if you're ready to build a business that funds your life and not just your hobby, this is your chance to build it without any risk. Check it out, link in the description below. With that, let's get back to the video. So let me break this down for you. When it comes to investing in your business, here's a couple important questions you need to ask, okay? Number one is, what is my goal? Okay, what am I actually trying to accomplish? Now, if you're listening to this and you're a hobbyist, go buy the tools, dude. Like, have at it, because you're going to take on a project once a month or once every couple months. You're a tinkerer, right? But if you're trying to build a business, investing in a bunch of tools that are required on the back end of all the processes that you need to be successful is not a good investment. We need to invest on the front end. And so, what is my goal? If I'm a hobbyist, buy the tools. If you're trying to build a business, you need to think more strategically. Every purchase should be solving a specific problem that is keeping you from your goals. Okay, so if my goal is to do $10,000 a month, well, I got to solve the problem that's keeping me from doing $10,000 a month. And for 99.99999% of you that are watching this video right now, the problem that's keeping you from doing $10,000 a month is that you don't have customers. You haven't built a brand that is attractive and you don't have customers. So you got to solve that problem. Solve the specific problem that is keeping you from your goals. Number two, am I currently limited more by my tools or by my lack of understanding and education? Most woodworking business owners, or hope to woodworking business owners, are not limited by their tools as much as they think they are. More often than not, they're limited by their business acumen. They're limited by their lack of education with marketing and sales and building a brand, building a website and managing a website. Typically, that's where our struggle is. None of us like feeling stupid. We go try a sport that we're not any good at. We're like, this sport's dumb. I'm not playing this sport. I'm gonna go play the sport that I've always been good at, right? We like doing things that bolster our confidence, but what that does is that it trains us to only focus on the things that we love and that we're good at and never to improve the things that we aren't good at, but that are necessary in order to succeed, right? So like if you are a brand new business owner, you have a small woodworking business, you are a one-man shop, you don't have a bunch of money lying around, you can't afford to go hire somebody to handle your sales and marketing. You've got to become good at sales and marketing, or you've got to work with a partner that's instead of having an employee or a partner that you're giving up a big chunk of revenue, you got to work with somebody like us with the Woodworking Business Accelerator program that helps you figure out these things and fill the gaps that you're not necessarily good at. And so, am I currently limited more by my tools or by my lack of understanding and education? And then the third final thing here, your education is always going to be more important than your tools. Your tools are important. I'm not trying to say on this video that tools are not important. They are important. But typically speaking, they're not the biggest bottleneck or constraint inside of a business. I've talked about this so many times, but if you've got a whiskey barrel or a wine barrel and you've got all these slats on this whiskey or wine barrel and you start filling it up, but one slat is lower than the others. Well, as soon as the whiskey or wine gets to that point in that lower, smaller slat, it's going to start pouring out of the edge. So I might be great at all these other things. I might have the best tools in the world. But if I don't have this thing figured out and I'm leaking out of that spot, that is the constraint inside of my business growth. I have to fix that in order to be successful. Typically, this is going to happen through education. It's not going to happen through just buying more inanimate objects. It's going to happen from learning and processing information differently than you ever have before. By the way, just another side note here. People go to college and spend $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 to get out and make $50,000 a year, $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year. Some of them get out to not even be able to get a job. They accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to go make a normal living. But people, for some reason, I don't know why, we get out of college or get out of high school and we get opportunities to invest in our education. Online courses, online programs from people that have actually done the thing that you're trying to do. And we say, I just can't invest in that. It's $100 or it's $1,000 or it's $10,000, whatever it might be. I can't invest in that. That's just too much money. But what you don't see is that if that person has done the exact thing that you're trying to do, they probably know something that you need to know in order to be successful in the thing that you're trying to do. They probably figured something out along the way. By the way, I'm also always actively practicing what I'm preaching. I, at this point, have probably spent $80,000 to $100,000 on third-party education from people that I follow that have done great with sales and marketing, that have done great with fulfillment, that have done great with operations. I've invested a lot of money learning from people that have gone where I'm trying to go. And so I don't know why it is that we get so hung up, especially when it comes to building our businesses. Like if you want a business that is going to provide for you and your family for years to come, it's going to require a lot for that to happen. And you need to know what you're doing. And so just flying blind and not understanding what it takes, I just have never understood like just being okay with that and thinking that you're going to get somewhere when this guy over here that's your competitor has invested his time and his energy and his money in learning and growing as an individual on such a greater scale. And so I'm just using this as an example to say that if you want to become a better husband, go learn from somebody that's written 5 books on becoming a great husband. Spend the money on the books. Spend the money on a live webinar or listening to him talk or going to a conference, right? If you want to become more fit and want to go run a marathon and want to figure out the right type of training to do it, go find a guy that runs crazy record-breaking marathons and learn from him. But you could save yourself so much trouble by just going and finding the person that has done the thing that you're trying to do and asking him, how did you do that, right? What does that look like? And some people, it doesn't cost you any money. It doesn't cost you any time. You might have somebody that lives in your neighborhood that has done something that you're trying to do. You just need to go talk to them. We need to always constantly be opening ourselves up to learning from other people's perspectives and seeing the world differently than we're currently seeing it. Your physical reality, the world that you live in, is just a representation of what you believe to be possible in your life. If you don't think it's possible to be a millionaire, you'll never set your sights on and pursue and take the actions necessary to become a millionaire. If you don't think that's possible for you, you'll never chase it. You'll never try it. So you have to expand your mind to think, what does my ideal life look like? What do I want life to look like? And then I got to passionately pursue it, right? I got to invest in it. I got to go all in on it. And so I'll get off my soapbox. I love you guys. I really do appreciate you. Hopefully in this video, you've seen the difference between investing in an asset and just making a purchase. And so with that, I got tons of free resources. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know what they are. I'm not going to keep this video super long. I got free ebook, first link. I got program for brand new beginner, low cost, easy investment to make. And then last, I got the Woodworking Business Accelerator program for those of you that are trying to really grow beyond $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per month inside of your woodworking business. So with that, I love and appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.